At a corporate event, my husband, who worked in the same department, told his friends loud enough for me to hear, "She's great at home. But honestly, at work, she's just dead weight we have to carry." The words hit me harder than any insult from a stranger ever could. I said nothing, transferred divisions in secret, and when his team crashed without my quiet support, I watched him spiral from across the building. I still remember the exact moment. It was a Thursday night at a company mixer. They held it at the Sheraton in downtown Columbus, in one of those carpeted ballrooms that smells like old coffee and air freshener. The kind of event where the wine is warm, the food is cold, and everyone is faking smiles. I stood near the cheese platter, pretending to listen to a conversation about vendor delays, when I heard my husband's voice carry over the music. Loud enough for me to hear. Loud enough that I know he wanted me to. "She's great at home, but honestly, at work, she's just dead weight we have to carry." And just like that, I stopped chewing. He laughed. So did Rob and Mark. I looked up and saw them by the bar, drinks in hand, shoulders relaxed like they were just guys blowing off steam. I wanted to believe I misheard. But I didn't. Travis said it with a straight face. Like it was a fact. Like he was talking about some intern who keeps screwing up spreadsheets. Not me. His wife. His teammate. His so-called partner. I felt like someone had yanked a cord and unplugged me from the room. Everyone else kept talking. But I wasn't really there anymore. I went through the rest of the night like I was underwater. I smiled. I laughed when I was supposed to. I even drove us home, listening to Travis brag about how well he networked. I didn't say a word. That night, lying next to him in bed, I stared at the ceiling and realized something. He didn't just disrespect me. He didn't see me. Not really. I wasn't a person to him. I was just a tool he used. A quiet workhorse he could take credit for. So I made a decision. I didn't confront him. Didn't cry. Didn't beg him to explain. Instead, I got strategic. The next day, I emailed HR. There was an opening in digital strategy, a division upstairs that rarely interacted with marketing. I told them I was interested. I had the qualifications. They approved the move in less than a week. I didn't announce it. I didn't even tell my team lead. I just waited for the new desk assignment to go through, then packed my things into a small box and moved upstairs. Travis didn't notice. The first week went by, and nothing. No call. No email. Not even a text asking where I was. The second week, I saw a group chat pop up where someone said, "Has anyone seen the latest budget model?" I ignored it. That used to be my job. Not anymore. By week 3, things started breaking. They missed a deadline for the Franklin account. Travis blamed Rob. Rob blamed Mark. But the truth was, I used to fix all their mistakes behind the scenes. I cleaned their data. Rewrote their pitches. I made Travis look good in every meeting. Without me, the cracks got bigger. I watched from the 6th floor. Quietly. I still got the company-wide emails. I still saw the calendar invites get cancelled. I still heard the rumors. Travis forgot to prep for a quarterly report and bombed it in front of the CFO. Clients started pulling back. Someone screwed up the metrics on a regional campaign and cost the team $10,000 in revisions. And Travis? He came home later. Grumpier. He drank more. Started snapping over stupid stuff. "You didn't remind me I had a call with Sheila," he snapped one Tuesday. "That's not my job anymore," I said, flipping a page in my book. He paused. "What do you mean?" I looked up. "I don't work in your department anymore." His face twisted. "Since when?" "It's been 3 weeks." "You didn't tell me?" I shrugged. "You didn't ask." He didn't say much after that. But that night, he sat outside on the porch, chain-smoking and staring into the yard like it held answers. I watched him through the blinds. Part of me expected him to come back in and apologize. He didn't. A week later, I heard from a friend in HR that Travis was on a performance improvement plan. That's corporate speak for, get it together or get out. I didn't feel bad. Not one bit. He thought I was dead weight. But I was the one quietly keeping him afloat. And when I stopped, he sank. Things got worse for Travis before he even realized how far he'd fallen. A month after I left the department, his team lost the Whitmore contract. That was their biggest client, millions tied up in it. Turns out, Travis forgot to follow up on a request they made in writing. It sat unread in his inbox for over a week. No one on the team double-checked, because they were used to me doing that. Always. The fallout was huge. There was a full-blown emergency meeting with upper management. I didn't attend, obviously. I was upstairs, sipping coffee and watching the Slack channel blow up. People whispering about Travis cracking under pressure. Someone joked that he was finally being seen without the safety net. They didn't say my name, but I knew who they meant. He came home that night and slammed the front door so hard the frame shook. I was in the kitchen making tea. He dropped his bag on the floor like it was made of bricks. "I'm being set up," he said. "They're making it look like it's all my fault." I stirred the sugar slowly. "Isn't it?" His eyes narrowed. "You think this is funny?" I finally looked at him. "I think it's interesting. You never cared about the details. You just took credit when things went right. And now that they don't." He stormed off before I could finish. That weekend, he started applying to other jobs. I saw the browser tabs on his laptop. But no one was calling him back. Word spreads fast in this industry, especially in a city like Columbus. If you blow a big contract, people talk. Then something I didn't expect happened. Rob came upstairs and asked to talk. He looked awkward. Held his coffee cup like it might shield him. "I didn't know," he said. "Didn't know what?" "That you were the one holding everything together. I mean, we all thought Travis had it covered. He said you just kind of helped out sometimes." I gave him a long look. "I used to fix your reports, Rob." He looked down. "I know that now." I didn't give him much. Just a nod. He walked away, clearly ashamed. Good. He should be. But it kept happening. A few more people started coming up to me quietly. Apologizing. Admitting they didn't realize how much I'd done. How invisible I'd let myself become just to keep the peace. And then the real twist hit. HR called Travis in. Not just for the usual talk. But for a formal complaint. Someone had reported him for inappropriate behavior. Something about a sarcastic comment he made during a call with a junior analyst. The analyst was crying in the bathroom afterward. Said Travis humiliated her. I wasn't surprised. I'd seen how he talked to people once things stopped going his way. He'd get cold. Sharp. Belittling. Like everyone was beneath him. He got a final warning. That night, he was quiet. Didn't eat much. Just stared at the TV without watching it. "You think I'm going to lose my job?" he asked, barely above a whisper. "I don't know," I said. He looked at me. Really looked at me. "Why didn't you just tell me I hurt you?" I sipped my tea. "Because you wouldn't have listened. And because you didn't just hurt me. You erased me." He didn't say anything else. But I could see it. He was unraveling. The man who once called me dead weight was now carrying the full load alone. And it was breaking him. 2 weeks later, the company sent out a restructuring memo. My heart stopped for a second when I read the subject line. The whole building buzzed with rumors. People whispering in elevators. Slack chats lighting up. I scanned the list of changes. That's when I saw it. Travis was being moved to a non-lead role. Not even lateral, down. From senior project manager to an account support liaison. A title they invented to keep him on payroll without giving him real authority. A demotion in everything but name. He was being sidelined. I didn't say anything to him when I got home. I wanted to see if he'd tell me. That night, he sat on the edge of the bed, elbows on his knees, staring at the carpet like it had done something to him. "They're cutting my team," he finally said. "Merging it with digital." I acted surprised. "Oh? Yeah. I'll still be on the Whitmore account," he added quickly, like it mattered. He wasn't lying. He just didn't know I was being put in charge of that same account now. The executive team wanted it handled by someone with a proven track record. I guess they figured out who that was. So now he worked under me. He found out 2 days later during a kickoff call. My name was on the agenda as lead strategist. When I popped up on the video screen, I watched his face freeze. He blinked twice, as if trying to process it. But he didn't say a word. That was the beginning of the real fallout. At work, he was polite. Careful. Never addressed me directly unless he had to. In person, he was even more distant. He stopped sitting at the dinner table. Ate in front of the TV. Barely spoke unless it was about bills or grocery lists. But then, I noticed something strange. He started getting calls late at night. Whispering. Going outside to talk. Locking his phone afterward. The pattern was too obvious. At first I thought maybe he was looking for another job. Trying to escape the mess he made. But then, I saw the name flash on his screen one morning. She was younger. Just out of grad school. Joined the company 6 months ago. I remembered her from the mixer, laughing a little too hard at his jokes. I didn't say anything. Not right away. Instead, I started watching. Logged into the company's CRM and checked the call records. Sure enough, there were late-night entries between them. Client updates. Follow-up syncs. Always after hours. Always vague. I printed them out and slid the folder into my desk drawer. Then I checked his calendar. There were personal meetings blocked off as lunch with vendor or off-site sync. But I knew where he was during those times. I knew because I asked Vanessa to join my team. She said yes. It only took 1 week before she slipped up. Told someone she'd seen Travis outside the office for coffee on a Wednesday when he was supposed to be working from home. Said it casually. But I noted the exact time and place. I pulled footage from the security cam at the nearby coffee shop. We used the same vendor for team meetings. There he was. Smiling. Leaning in close. Touching her arm. That's when I stopped waiting. I waited until the quarterly team review meeting. It was held in the big conference room on the top floor. Glass walls, long table, and a live video feed so remote execs could join. Everyone on the Whitmore account was there, including Vanessa. Travis came in late, looking tired, pale. He sat across from me, eyes avoiding mine. When it was my turn to present, I walked to the front with a folder in my hand. "I want to start by talking about transparency," I said. "And accountability." I clicked the remote. The screen behind me lit up with a spreadsheet. Call logs from the CRM, timestamped emails, and calendar blocks labeled as vendor meetings. "This," I said, pointing to the screen, "is what it looks like when company time is used for something other than work." There was a pause. I clicked again. The next slide showed a still frame, Travis and Vanessa at the cafe. Leaning in close. Her hand on his. I turned around and looked directly at him. "Some people here used to call me dead weight," I said. Turns out, when I stopped carrying them, they didn't just drop the ball. They embarrassed this entire department. You could have heard a pin drop. Travis's face went completely white. Vanessa stared at the table, frozen. One of the execs on the call cleared his throat. Can we pause this? But I didn't pause. Relationships with subordinates, during business hours, billed as client meetings, those aren't just unethical. They're theft. Of time. Of money. Of trust. I turned off the projector. I'm done covering for people. From now on, we all stand on our own work. I sat down. Nobody said a word for a long moment. Then the VP of Operations spoke. We'll need to follow up with HR immediately. The meeting was dismissed. That night, Travis didn't come home. He slept at a hotel for a few nights. Then he called to say he was moving out. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just said, okay. Because I had already grieved this marriage. Back when I stood by the buffet table and heard my husband talk about me like I was a burden. HR launched a full investigation. Travis was let go for conduct violations. Vanessa was offered a quiet exit, she took it. No lawsuit. Just gone. I filed for divorce. And here's the part one haven't told anyone, I wasn't innocent in all of this either. I stayed silent for years. Let myself shrink to fit into his life. Let him take credit. Let him walk around with my efforts stitched onto his name. I kept the house clean, the team stable, and the peace at every cost. And I'm not proud of that. But I changed. The day he called me dead weight, something in me cracked, but something else woke up. Now, I lead the division. I walk through those glass hallways like I belong there. Because I do. Because I earned it. And if anyone ever tries to carry me again, they better know, I'm not dead weight. I'm the one who built the damn structure. And next time someone tries to tear it down, I won't just walk away. I'll make sure they get buried in the rubble.